Unity of the Huachucas presents Reverend Rick Lockhart.
Spiritual vitality, how do you get it? Part 2.
So, last week, I challenged you, and after service was over, someone challenged me to read Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady. And I did. I started it. And I'd like to share one thing that really caught me. I had to read it a couple times, but this is what it said. Desire in the heart for anything is God's sure promise sent beforehand to indicate that it is yours already in the unlimited realm of supply. And that really touched me. I don't ever want to be the type of person that can't expand on their learning, yeah, especially spiritual learning. I think that's really, really important. So, last Sunday, I spoke about the first 3 steps of our stair steps to spiritual vitality using the text 2 Peter 2 through 8. And if you weren't here last Sunday, I would highly encourage you to go onto YouTube and watch it, or you can actually go onto our Facebook page, and we post it on the Facebook page also. So, our stair steps. I looked up the definition of spiritual vitality, and this is what it said in our metaphysical dictionary. Spiritual vitality refers to a vibrant, active, and thriving inner life rooted in faith, compassion, connection with the divine or higher power, lending to personal wellness and greater capacity to give to others. It's experienced through a dynamic relationship with God or other spiritual principles, often involving prayer, community, and living in accordance with one's spiritual beliefs. And you know, I read that twice, and it made so much sense to me. And I believe, as I said last week, that God wants us to be in a more personal relationship, a more intimate relationship with Him. And I think all of us as believers need that intimate relationship with Him. So to recap quickly last Sunday's message, the first step is faith. The beginning of our walk with God. And honestly, that is really big. You can't build a house without a good foundation, or the house will crumble and fall. Same goes with our walk with God. If we don't have that foundation built in faith, our faith will crumble. Our second step was goodness. We were all created by God to do good, each and every one of us. And we as believers have Spirit in us, guiding us down that path that we need to walk and must listen to the voice of Spirit to be able to find and walk down that path. And finally, the third step, we need to learn things of God. We need to have that intimate relationship with Him. We need to put Him first in our lives and just talk to Him. Talk to Him like you talk to a friend. You don't have to pray solemn prayers all the time. You don't have to always be in your prayer closet, but during the day, just talk to God. And how do we get that intimate relationship with God? By having knowledge of God and of the Spirit. So let's dive in to where we left off last week. The text that I'm using is 2 Peter 5 through 8. I'm actually going to start on 6 today. For this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness, and to godliness mature affections, and to mature affection love. So last week we left off with knowledge. And this week we're going to start on one of the hardest ones for me. It truly, truly is self-control. You can ask my wife, and please do, because she'll back me up on this one. Sometimes my self-control is on the low side. I open my mouth and say the wrong things, and I do that a lot. I react when I should be settled. And the last one, it's a guy thing. I mean, it's not the last thing that I have a problem with self-control, because there are very many. But this last one I'm going to mention, I like tools. Any kind of tool. Doesn't matter. If I go to the store, I like tools. I look, I see something that I like. I might not need it, but I buy it because I like it. And I think I got that from my dad. I'm blaming him. I heard a great definition of self-control, and I wanted to share it with you. Self-control is like a guardrail on a windy mountain road with 100-foot drops on the side of the road. Those guardrails are there to keep you from getting too close to the edge and going over. I like that. I think it's a good definition. In some people's lives, those guardrails are there to keep them from going to that bar they used to go to, or keeping you from spending time with people that you hung out with that brought you into a place of drug addiction. Or maybe keeping you from going onto that website that causes you problems in your life. I think I need to put guardrails around Home Depot, Ace Hardware, and Harbor Freight to keep me on that path. But I think our problem as being spiritual beings in human bodies tends to be not self-control, but self-inducence. I think we let ourselves do what we want. And I think we've all heard the saying that we live in the me generation. It's all about me. You guys know that, right? It's all about what I want, not what you want. It's what I like. It's what I feel like doing. I think it's how the human flesh has always been. About me. From the beginning of time. You can't have lasting self-control and do it on your own. It takes God and Spirit to keep you there. You can't do what this verse says on your own. Add faith, goodness, knowledge, and self-control. So again, where does it come from? Well, Galatians 5 says, But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, fruitfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit. It's not from us. As people, as individuals, we're all going to fail in the long run. It's about Spirit working in us. As you lean into God, as you lean into Spirit, you will receive more self-control. It won't happen overnight. I wish it did. If it did, I would weigh 155 pounds. Spirit doesn't have a magic wand that he can wave over you. And once he does, you have all the self-control that you're going to need the rest of your life. But like I said, the more you lean into God and open yourselves up to Spirit, the more you will receive. We'll fail in everything we try to do on our own. But if we trust God and Spirit, the work will never fail. And we all struggle with this. Isn't it time that we all let go, let God and Spirit take over? I think it is. It is for me in my life. And to self-control, perseverance. The definition for perseverance is doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. You guys all know that I like to use myself as an example. I think it brings it more down to reality. So I will tell you a story. When I was courting Tanya, she had a boyfriend. But that didn't stop me. I would stop in and see her at work, flirting. We both worked at the same place, so it kind of made it easy. I would work on her car. I would do things for her that nobody else did or wanted to do. And did I mention flirting? Did I mention that already? Okay. Well, I won her heart. I was so persistent that she gave me the nickname Percy. And after over 25 years, she still calls me that today, Percy. And she played hard to get. It took me a year and a half, about 2 years maybe, to get her to go out on our first date. And it was special. It truly was. I fell in love with her the first time I saw her. And I think that was good. But how many of you have wanted to quit something? I think we all have. Our flesh doesn't like being in the process that makes it struggle or hurt. Again, we all go through this. We all go through those situations where our flesh is crying out and saying, stop, quit, you're killing me. I think we all do. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to. I think most Americans love to quit. There was a survey taken in 2021, something called the Great Resignation. People started quitting their jobs in record numbers. People have their reasons, some good, some not so good. But during that time, 4.5 million people in America quit their jobs in the months leading up to March of 2022. That was the peak of the Great Resignation. 4.5 million people in our country. Seems like we like to quit. And there was something else that I found in this article that I was reading. There is something called quiet quitting. Have any of you heard of quiet quitting?
Yes.
One person. I hadn't heard. You have?
Yes.
Two persons. Well, quiet quitting is where an employee refuses to do anything more than the bare minimum. They do the bare minimum to keep their jobs. No extras. No going that extra mile like a lot of us was taught. And here is the sad statistic on that. More than 59% of the people in American jobs right now responded, yes, I have quiet quit. 59% do just the very bare minimum to keep their jobs. So that leads us to perseverance. Perseverance is the determination not to quit. Self-control does no good without perseverance. You can't have self-control for 1 hour or 1 day. It does you no good without having perseverance. Faith, goodness, knowledge doesn't do you any good without perseverance. And perseverance has to be more than a 1 day, 1 week, or 1 year thing in your life. It has to be the rest of your life. Say a lifetime. Say a lifetime. That's how long it has to be. Perseverance. The stair steps that we started walking up, there it is. The stair steps that we started walking up, once you step from faith to goodness, and then up to knowledge, and then up to self-control, has to be a lifetime project for you. It has to be a lifetime goal. You can't get to the top of the stairs and say, oh, I've already done those. I don't have to stay at it. I don't have to keep going. I'm done with those. No. You persevere with them for the rest of your life. If you don't stick with all 8 of them, none of them will amount to much. And your growing into maturity will be hindered or non-existent. And I know while we're doing this, while we're going up those steps, it's work. It's a job. And I know your body's going to cry out, or at least mine will, stop, quit, enough. But if you stick with it, you will become a more mature believer. So I just had this image of a weightlifter, big guy, and a little tiny scroungy guy standing next to him. And the weightlifter picks this big barbell thing up and lifts it up over his head and sets it back down. And the little skinny guy reaches there and he can't even hardly make the thing roll, little less pick it up. It's because that weightlifter had persistence to continue lifting more and more weights to get to that point. Don't stop. Don't quit. Keep going up these stairs. Any virtuous supplement of faith requires it. And mature faith is a committed faith. I hope that last week's message and today's message isn't coming off too strong, but I don't want to candy coat it. I don't want to make it all flowery. Well, maybe with the exception of my opening last week. That was pretty flowery. We all need it, and maybe me the most. I can tell you I slip and fall every day. Everyone does. I don't have a red phone that I pick up and talk directly to God and say, hey, boy, I need some more self-control today. Boy, I need some more perseverance today. I have the same as every one of you. We all have a direct line. It's the Spirit. And I think that's so important for us all to remember. That connection is right here within us. So once again, as I said last week, our English language doesn't do the word perseverance justice. We use it for almost everything in that realm. But in the original text, in the Greek, it is hupanami. Hupanami. Meaning cheerful, hopeful, and having hopeful endurance, consistency, patience, and continuous waiting.
You want to see this? You want to see it?
No.
No.
I'm sure. It's persistence, but it's with something to look forward to. You want your relationship to be intimate with God? And do you want to walk with God and be mature? Be upanani with your persistence. Cheerful and continuous. Yes, I don't know Greek well, but that's what I got out of it. Hour to hour, day to day, year to year, the whole rest of your life. I can tell you this much. The reward will be well worth it. When you walk with maturity and you walk with God in everything you do, that reward is well worth it. And I want to close this morning with this. Colossians 1, starting at verse 9. For this very reason, since the day we heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you. We constantly ask God to fill you with the knowledge and understanding that Spirit gives, so that you may live a worthy life for God and please Him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God, being strengthened with all power in accordance to His glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience, and have joyful thanks to the Father, who has qualified you to share in His inheritance of His holy people in the light of the kingdom. You, each and every one of you, are the joy of the Lord. You're the joy of God. And that joy started on that first step of our staircase. It started with faith. And every step that you go up is going to bring you more joy, intimacy with God, and your relationship, and your maturity in our walk with God. I told you I'd finish early today because we have cake, and I did. And I want to thank each and every one of you this morning. And may God bless each and every one of you on this journey of going up the stairs. Thank you very much.